Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. I'm so excited about this week. I'm Erin Lay. I've been a global leading life coach and business strategist for over 30 years, written a bunch of best-selling books, speak on stages about all this stuff. I absolutely love this. I want to just transform, change the conversation people are having with themselves these days to realize that you can do anything that you put your mind to. Okay. And today, for this week, we're going to talk about boundaries, and boundaries are the secret to protecting your energy. Okay, so let's get into this. Every yes is also a no. The question is, what are you saying no to without realizing it? So, the first talking point, let's get into this, is lack of boundaries equals instant overwhelm. So true. If you don't have boundaries and you're just allowing everything to come at you, you're going to get overwhelmed. So, I'm going to help you with that in this week's episode. Okay, so first talking point starts with without boundaries, you're living on other people's agendas. How many people do that in this world? Many people are doing it, and you might be doing it right now, as you're listening to this. And all it does is create overwhelm because you haven't yet implemented boundaries for your energy. Okay. And we only have a certain amount of energy, a finite amount of energy to utilize throughout the day. Overwhelm is often not about just doing too much. It's about what we're doing for others that induces the overwhelm, right? And then boundaries create space for your priorities to actually breathe. Let them breathe. Let your priorities have space, and allow that energy to be there, that good energy, which actually like the overwhelm dissipates when all of this happens, when you implement this. And it's so good. Super, super good. All right, that's the first talking point. The second talking point is boundaries are love, not rejection. A lot of people think that if they have boundaries, then they're being rude or they're rejecting somebody else or they're constantly saying no. And that's not the case. All you're doing is just protecting your energy so you can make more aligned yeses rather than doing everything without a filter, right? So healthy boundaries, honor your energy, and respect the other person. That's super, super, super important. And saying no to misalignment is saying yes to your true vision. So when you're saying no to misaligned opportunities, if you will, or misaligned requests from other people, or when it's not in alignment with what you want to do, if it's not in alignment with that North Star, like that ladder of goals that you're climbing to get to that ultimate destiny, if you're not saying no to anything that's not in alignment with what it is that you want, you're wasting time, right? And then you're creating overwhelm and it's just exhausting. So you definitely want these boundaries and they're healthy and they're very, very empowering. It's very positive for you to have this. And true love doesn't mean self sacrificing, it means mutual respect. That's huge, in any kind of relationship with your spouse, with your partner, with your friends, with your family, with your kids, with your colleagues, with your coworkers, with your team, no matter who it is. Mutual respect is not, it's got to be a given. It's a foundation. It's just like, a very beginning. You start there. And if you don't start with mutual respect, you're completely out of alignment when boundaries need to be set. So that's talking point number 2. Talking point number 3, 3 quick ways to set boundaries without guilt. I love this part. Okay, so there's 3 things that I want to tell you about to help you to set the boundaries that you need to start just living just so much with so much more peace. You'll feel so much better about this. And the first one is the yes no filter. Does this serve my vision? If not, decline. Okay, that is so cool. The yes no filter, ask yourself, does this serve my vision? If not, decline. The next one is the pause button. Buy time by saying, let me get back to you. It sounds interesting. Let me get back to you. So you just hitting the pause button. You're not saying yes, you're not saying no, but you do have the boundary of that you are going to think about it because you can think about it. It's not that you can't do this and that you have to rush in based on somebody else's agenda. Oh, take your personal power back. And that means personally and professionally. take your power back, stand in your authentic power as your authentic self, and just say, you want time to think about it. That's okay. Not only is it okay, it's a must. Because if you're making decisions like too quickly, and I do believe in making decisions fast and changing your mind slowly, but if you're making decisions that are out of alignment quickly, you want to slow that down. You want to hit the pause button. And the third one is the one sentence no. The one sentence no. Keep it short, kind, and firm. No explanations needed. All right. I personally used to explain myself to death. Years and years ago, I did not want to be misunderstood. I wanted people to understand exactly where I was coming from. And it was because I just didn't want people to misunderstand. I didn't want them to think that I was coming from a negative place. And I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest with you. But I just felt like I had to prove myself. And, because in my subconscious mind, I guess the paradigm of not good enough unless they understood, not worthy unless they understood, like all of the self doubt was there as I explained myself. And then years ago, I was like, this is ridiculous. That's going to stop. Nobody needs an explanation. I don't have to defend myself. If I'm showing up as the best version of me with love, coming from a place of love and mutual respect, then if they don't understand what I'm saying, they can ask me questions. They can come to me and I'm very open and I can answer any questions that they have, but I'm not going to explain myself to death. So this person likes me or that person wants it. Like, that's crazy. What I was doing was not in alignment with who I truly am as I'm standing in my power as my authentic self. And nowadays life got to be so much more fun and so much easier because that's how I communicate now. And I'm wide open. Like, if anybody has questions for me, I'm not like, why are they questioning me? That's crazy. Like, I would be very, very, very open to any questions that anybody has. So it's all about all of us learning together on this planet, and nobody knows everything. Nobody will ever know everything until we take our last breath and go to heaven, wherever we go next, right? Like, no human being knows everything. I don't care who it is. They do not know everything, even if it's your zone of genius that you're in and you're in a leadership position, there's always room for growth. Okay. So, because a lot of times it's like trying to look at the back of our head, we can't see it. So we can always learn from other people as well. And so the one sentence no, keep it short, kind, and firm, no explanation needed. And anyway, a client of mine regained energy and tripled productivity when my client stopped explaining, because anytime I learn a lesson, like, I love sharing it with my clients. And when I taught them what I did, when I made that transformation, when I made that shift and they implemented that shift in their own life and their productivity went through the roof. Everything changed. People started having more trust, the know, like, and trust factor, because they weren't second guessing themselves. They weren't defending themselves or explaining themselves. They came from that confidence, from that clarity, and their productivity went through the roof, which is so exciting. So, and now the practical tool for today, apply the yes, no filter this week and watch your energy shift. Okay. So I want you to apply the yes, no filter, which is, does this serve my vision? And if not, decline it. Right. If somebody says, could you do this for me? Can you do that for me? If it's just the yes, no filter, yes, if it's in alignment with what you need to accomplish. No, if it's not in alignment, and be really okay with the no. All right. You say it with kindness, with respect, but it's a solid no. It's a firm no. And that's okay. So I want you to implement that this week. And I would love for you to like this video, hit subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit subscribe, like the video if this served you. And I really want you to implement all of this into your week. Just have fun practicing this and playing with it and see the difference that it makes and just document it. Like, journal these little things you might see. It's just little changes, little shifts make big changes, so just document what you're seeing along the way, because I would love for you to share that with me. And I do have the Life on Track course. I say it every week. If you'd like to know more about it, you could always schedule a call with me at scheduleerin.com, because it's 6 months of really giving you all of this, like all of this coaching. I show up live every month to help you implement what you're learning in the course and implement it into your life, personally and professionally. So you can go to scheduleerin.com. We can talk more about what your goals are, what you're looking to achieve. All right. So have a magnificent week and always remember to live onward and upward.